Okay, everybody, welcome again to the Crown Australian Open Media Centre, and a particularly big welcome to Rory McIlroy, the 2025 Masters winner and career Grand Slam holder. Rory, everywhere you go, I think it's a bit of mayhem and a bit of craziness, but did you expect what you've got since you've arrived in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's been a very warm welcome, and obviously delighted to be here. First time playing in Australia in quite a while, so I've been excited to come back. It hasn't been a secret that I've wanted to come back as well, and I think just with obviously the wonderful golf courses that we're playing the next couple of years. Also the change in the format, going back to the sort of traditional Australian Open has probably helped that too. But yeah, just really excited to be back.
Beautiful. We'll go to some questions, guys. So just a reminder, raise your hand and a microphone will come to you. Adam.
Rory, welcome to Australia. I know you've spoken many times in the past about this tournament and what the beliefs are. Having been down here now for a couple of days, what do you think the vision should be for a tournament like this, and where should it sit in the world golf ecosystem?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I spoke about this a little bit last night on stage at the gala dinner, but if you look at the world of golf right now, there's three pretty big tournaments going on the same week. You've got Tiger's event in the Bahamas, you got the Nedbank in South Africa, and obviously you've got here. I think, those three tournaments, what Sun City used to be, the $1 million, it's probably lost a little bit of what it had. I'd say this tournament has lost a little bit of what it had, back in the, say 30, 40 years ago. And I'd say even Tiger's event is probably the same way. It's maybe not as... So I think because there's so much golf and there's so many tournaments, the eyeballs are divided, and the interest in every one of those tournaments this week is probably not as high as it should be. So, I think this tournament in particular, because of the history, because of the tradition, deserves to be a standalone tournament, a week on its own. And hopefully one day the powers that be can put together a schedule where the biggest and best tournaments in the world, and the oldest and the ones with the most heritage can be elevated and stand on their own.
And I know you're trying to still learn this golf course obviously this week, but you played all around the world. Where does Royal Melbourne sit for you in terms of comparing it to other courses around the globe?
Yeah, I don't want the membership to take this about. It's probably not the best course in Melbourne, I think. That's my opinion. But it's certainly in the top 10 in the world. So it's like, there's so much great golf in this country, and especially in this area. But yeah, I guess I didn't know what to. I've watched it on TV. I didn't anticipate how many blind tee shots there was going to be, and yeah, it sort of takes a little bit to figure out. It's certainly not straightforward. I think as well, it probably plays better in a southerly wind rather than a northerly wind. I think I've played it today. Some of the shorter holes are downwind and it plays a little funky, but if you get the southerly wind and it gets back into the wind, then they play like really good. So it's probably not a fair reflection on the golf course playing it in this wind. It would be good to play it in a few other directions, but yeah, it's obviously it's an amazing golf course, and can't wait to get out there and compete on it this week.
Sam, just down the front left.
Just following up from Adam's question, what is the best golf course in Melbourne?
Kingston Heath.
Yeah, okay. On Royal, arguably pound for pound the biggest hitter that the game has seen, but this is quite a short golf course compared to what you used to playing. So I just wondered if you could talk to how important club selection is going to be. You joked last night on stage that you might have to see what some of the locals are taking before you work it out. Just the funkiness of the golf course off the tee.
Yeah, it is. It's a little. It gives you options. It certainly gives you options, and I think if I knew the golf course better and was more comfortable on it, I'd probably be more inclined to hit more club off the tee because I'd be more comfortable with my lines. But today even on the 15th hole, for example, I hit a 6-iron off the tee because it just the way visually the hole just looks, like you hit it up the left and it sort of feeds down to the right and then you hit a wedge in. But Cam Smith was playing behind me and he hit driver up, close to the green. So, certainly different ways to play it, but maybe, I'm going to have to try to get the first couple of rounds over me and figure it out sort of as I go, and maybe then I can start to play a little bit more aggressive at the weekend if I feel a bit more comfortable.
So you probably take driver less? You open a couple of days?
I would think so, yeah.
Evan, down here on the right.
Welcome back, mate.
Thanks, Evan.
You spoke glowingly about the Australian Open the last few years, right? And you have been down 11 years. I'm wondering, why did you miss it so much? And where do you think all that admiration for Australia and the Australian Open, where does that come from?
I think Australia has been a very big part of my golfing life and my golfing journey. Going all the way back to playing the Australian Open as an amateur back in 2005 and 2006. And then I just think the quality of the golf down here, the quality of the players that have come from here. And then also you look at, I mentioned it last night, but you look at an event like Live Adelaide and the people that come out to that event and how excited they are that some of the top players in the world are down there playing. And it just feels like this country is starved of top level golf. Obviously you've had President's Cups come down here and, you've had a lot of good players still come through, but maybe just not on a consistent basis. And I think a market like this with amazing fans and the history that it does have probably deserves more of a consistency of big players and big tournaments.
Just to follow up, you said at the dinner last night that you're a big goal person that helps you march towards the next big thing. Have you been able to reset your goals as it relates to the majors? Is there another carrot to chase?
Yeah, there absolutely is. I've talked about trying to win at some of the most important venues in golf. This week is one of them. You think about the tournaments and the people that have won around Royal Melbourne and how highly regarded it is, within the golf world. And I was lucky enough to win at Pebble Beach this year for the first time. Obviously at Augusta, I'd love to win at St Andrews one day. I'd love to win a U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. There's just a few. There's a few venues in our game that maybe just mean a bit more than some of the others, and that's something that I would love to do one day. But yeah, I want to win more majors. I want to be part of more Ryder Cup teams. I'd say my records on either tour, whether it be the DP World Tour or the PGA Tour, are probably meaning a little less to me as time goes on, and it's really just focusing on the majors and being part of that Ryder Cup team and sort of trying to build on the legacy that I've been building over the last 15 years in that.
Come over here to the left side.
Rory, you had such an amazing year. Your here in Australia maybe have come all this way, and I know you've had a few of the different standard courses since you've been here. Like the challenge of playing on these unique courses, different style of golf, is that a major driver for you to come to Australia?
Yeah, it is. It is certainly a different style of golf. I think even the last few holes today, the wind started to get up. You can feel the course start to change a little bit, even already compared to yesterday. Obviously, it's only going to get hotter and windier over the next 24 to 36 hours. So, I'd say by Friday, this course will be playing nice and firm and probably the way we all want to play it, especially here at the Sandbelt. So yeah, it is. It's a different style of golf. You're having to think about what your ball's doing on the ground once it gets there, and just take it's very strategic, it's very positional, and that's a style of golf that I've started to appreciate more and more as I've gotten further into my career.
I know your dad was a Test cricket guy and happened to be down under while Ashes is taking place. Do you have an eye on the cricket, and is there a world where you can make it to the Gabba?
No, I have to be back in the States on Monday, but I'll be following. Obviously, I know the second test starts tomorrow. Australia got off to a great start, so hopefully that continues.
Mel Woods.
Sorry, hi.
You're in group with Adam Scott tomorrow. I just wondered if you guys ever revisit 2013. I know it's one of your favourite tournament wins,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing it stings a bit for him.
I mean, I would love to revisit it. He probably wouldn't. So I think about that tournament a lot. I think about what it meant. I felt at that point in my career, I was at a bit of a crossroads. I'd gone off to a great start, but 2013 I'd really struggled, and I'd started to find some form again. And I really do think that win at the end of the year was a catalyst for what happened in 2014, which is, I'd say 2014's up there with 2025 as the best 2 years of my career. And I think a large part of that was not only winning, but the way that I won, and then also beating Adam. Adam was coming back down here as the Masters champion, world number one. So that the way I played and the way I played against him gave me a lot of confidence going into that next year.
Just finally for me, was Kingston Heath a lure for you to sign that 2-year deal, and did they get you cheap? Because I think you committed to it before you got one Grand Slam.
I think just coming back to the sand belt was a big, my last my last few Australian Opens have been in Sydney, and there's nothing, Royal Sydney was amazing, and so was the Australian, but there is an allure to come back to Melbourne and come back to the sand belt. That was definitely a big part of it.
Okay, last question just over here.
Hey Rory, firstly, you're so big in Australia, I'm sure you know by your following, but I've never seen so many grown men cry on Instagram and TikTok when you won the Masters, mate. It's quite funny, but you've kind of ruined my question, because I was going to ask, if you can only play one par 3 for the rest of your life, is it 5 on the West Coast here, or is it 15 at Kingston Heath? Say it.
Honestly, the one par 3 I'd want to play for the rest of my life is it the spare hole at Kingston Heath, the one that's right in the middle of the course?
That's the 10th.
The 10th. I think the 10th is the members maybe play it. That to me is honestly my favorite par 3 in the world.
You're welcome to your time, mate.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone, and thank you to Rory, who's had a very big week and has a bigger week ahead with the golf tournament starting tomorrow, so good luck this week, mate.
Thank you.
Everyone, please welcome Min Woo Lee to the Media Centre for his pre-tournament press conference. Once again, guys, raise your hands, we'll get a microphone to you. Min, obviously you're trying to win a golf tournament that you're very keen to do, but there's a lot of other stuff happening this week. You got a great little selfie backstage last night. Can you tell these people who wouldn't have seen it what you got a photo of?
Yeah, so it was the gala last night, and just normal Q&A, and then Scotty brought out that you got to be careful if you have dinner with Min Woo, because he's going to take a selfie and then he'll be posted on TikTok or Snapchat. So then I decided to do it backstage after the Q&A. So I'll post it probably today if you guys are keen on it. And yeah, it was just nice to be on stage with major winners, and of course Rory won the Masters, and that's very special. And I haven't actually played with him properly. I played 9 holes with him at the Open, but this is the first time actually playing around with him in my life. So it'll be exciting with the Australian crowd supporting us.
You've obviously played a fair bit of sandbelt golf, but this is the first time you're going to play an Australian Open at Royal Melbourne. How exciting is that?
It's so exciting. You can see that it's firming up just a little bit. The wind's blowing out there, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be. I think it's going to be tricky by the afternoon, and yeah, very excited. Different golf than usual. You got to think around every shot really, and make sure you don't leave it in bad spots. So you got to be in control of the ball, and I am, so I'm pretty happy. Hopefully on the weekdays.
We'll open up to some questions, but just lastly from me, mate, first PGA Tour win this year. It's obviously been a massive year. How do you sort of reflect on the year?
Yeah, it's been a good year. The last couple of months have been really good, trending really well. I think the results have been getting a little bit better, and my approach play was something that I needed to get better at, and it's showing signs. So very happy with that. Yeah, the win was amazing. And then after that, even Rory said when he won the Masters afterwards, he didn't really set his goals and regroup and brief about what happened. And you're kind of on a high, so you're disappointed with playing bad golf, but you're still so happy with the win. I know my win wasn't as significant as the Masters, but scale-wise, I guess it was. It was a dream of mine to win a PGA Tour event, and I probably didn't do the best, slowing down a little bit after that. But happy to find my feet again and play some good golf.
Right, we'll come over here for the first question.
I mean, what is the significance of Rory's visit here, and what do you think it might do for Australian golf? And also, what would it mean for you to win this tournament?
Yeah, I think there's a huge buzz. I mean, Rory is one of the best golfers of the last decade. I think he's very underrated. He performs every week in, week out. Even though he would like to win a few times more, I mean, it's still a great effort to put himself in that situation, and that's something all of us golfers want to do. The longevity is amazing. Same as Scotty, of course, but that's something that we want to do. Play golf for a long time and well. It's great for golf. Great for golf in Australia. I think there's not going to be many times where he does come over and play, so it's great to see a top golfer come over and show us how it's done. He's a really good guy, and it'll be amazing to see how he plays this golf course. You can't really overpower it, or else he'll bite you in the butt. So you just got to be in control of the ball, but also hit it in really good positions. And it'll be great to win a tournament, especially in Australia. 2 years ago, Aussie PGA, that was one of the highlights of my career. So I would like to win an Australian Open. There's a lot of history to it, and especially at Royal Melbourne, it'll be significant.
Come down here for the next one.
What do you think the world should expect this week as far as watching it on the telly? For those who don't know the Sandbelt, why should people tune into the Australian Open this week?
I mean, it's one of the best courses in the world. I think it has very similar characteristics to Augusta. A lot of undulation on the greens, a lot of creativity. You don't hit many simple shots or easy shots. It has to be with imagination, and I think that's why Royal Melbourne is so good. There's a lot of ways to play it, and it's just fun. But it can bite you in the butt. You can't overpower it.
Matt Cleary.
Hi, we've got Rory out here, and he's made. He said that he's come out for the golf course and he's doing this Open and the great historical precedents that we've had. But talking to some of the American guys that you tour with, that's where you make your living. Talking to those guys, what would bring them here? Obviously a few golf would help, but what would they, for the same reason Rory's come here for this golf course and the history of this tournament? Talking to guys on the tour, what brings the better Americans out here?
Yeah, I mean, I think somewhat of the schedule. It's tough because it's at the end of the schedule and everyone's taking some time off, and Australia's not too close to America, so that's probably a big part of it. But yeah, I'd love to see more people come down here and play. I don't know what it will take, but these guys have a long season and they want to take some rest at home, and I don't blame them. But being down in Australia, being from Australia, I'm already down here, and it's a lot easier for me to come and play this event. So would love them. I mean, everyone would love them, but it's challenging.
Are they curious about it? Because this is a favourite place, and Sandfield's a favourite place to play golf. Are they curious about it? They ask you about it?
I'm sure they would love to come play. I mean, they'll see on TV that it's fun to play, and I mean, we talk about it now and then, but nothing too crazy about it.
Right, come down here.
Hey Ben, how you going? Firstly, congrats on the win in Houston. For someone's first ever win to have a 2-foot putt and then go and have a little bit of piss taken and do the 8 point, which was awesome, and then come out and you at Mingy's acceptance speech last week or the week before and cracked so many gags. How important is it to you just to be having fun? And are you trying to attract a younger generation, or are you just purely being you?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. You know, I love seeing kids out here. There's so many kids. It's a school day, but isn't it? It's a school day, but they're all out here. But it's amazing to see. I still think of myself as a little kid. I keep saying it in every interview, but I still feel 18 years old. And I was saying to my friends that I played with Spieth in, I don't know, 2016 or 2017, and I was 18 then, and that was my Masters. That was my major. I just maybe turned pro. I was still an amateur, and you know, this was one of the biggest events for me to get in and get a sponsor's invite. So it has a special place in my heart, and now I get to play with Rory, one of the best players of the generation, and Scotty that I grew up and looking up to. So it's cool and full circle moment. Kids actually make me keep wanting to play well, and just growing up in the social media era, I like to make it a bit of fun. When I was young, I didn't love golf to the extent right now. I thought it was an old gentleman sport, and just hit a golf ball, but I might as well make it fun while I'm still young, and I got the opportunity too. So I really like seeing younger faces out here and enjoying. I don't think they realise Royal Melbourne is as special as they will maybe when they're a bit older, but it is cool to see them.
Just down the front here.
I think there was a bit of talk around the fairways today that you might have bulked up a bit, a bit of gym work.
Yeah.
Is that true, and why?
Last year I got hurt. My knee I got it sublex, which is just like a dislocation. I literally rolled in bed and it popped out, and I couldn't bend down to read a putt last year at the Aussie PGA and Aussie Open. So that was probably the start of the team thinking that we should be stronger. I don't know why I didn't eat that much during that time, on the golf course especially. At the end of Aussie Open, I was 71 kilos, and now I'm 82. So there's a big difference between now and then. Even just seeing the replay of me on the big screen, it's amazing to see how skinny I was. Just to get a lot more stable in my golf swing, and yeah, I feel pretty good. A little bit of pudding there, but I'll try cut that down. Christmas is coming up, so probably not. Maybe after that. Just to be a lot more stable with my swing. It was a struggle after the win. I kind of all the signature events in America were thick, rough, and you had to be accurate. So I didn't do that. So the next step was to get stronger and change my swing a little bit for that. And good signs right now.
Is that gym work or more tucker?
A bit of both. A lot of, just aware of what I'm trying to eat, and more protein, and a bit of a bulk. You just got to start the cut soon, but a bit of both. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Cheers.
And thank you, Min Woo. Good luck this week.
Thank you, guys.